Welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers will pass.
And you will too if you pass.
Now, we've been here in the studio since 12:47, had everything set up, but Diallo under Warrior Class put his logo, and I could not take it off. So Diallo, please don't do that shit no more, because this ain't the first time. Yeah. So please don't do that no more.
We don't know how to.
We the ones who the least technically savvy out here.
Maybe
so I couldn't take that shit back. Right, exactly. Next is just gonna be a picture of him. And we do it to say his picture just right there and shit.
Don't victimize. Don't do us like that just because you know we are technically savvy. Don't do us like that.
Right. So, all right, we're gonna get into it, y'all.
Peace, Eugene.
So I'm going to the comments here. Peace, greetings to Dorian, greetings, Eugene. We're gonna get into it.
Please hit the like. Please hit the share. This is a special broadcast. This is Black August.
Yeah, this is the Black August episode.
And so if you want to be informed, if you want to know about it, if you have family members that you want to
from the Warriors
connect,
Warriors aspect, from the Warrior Class aspect, right?
There you go. It's a little twist on it. You know how we do. So
and George Jackson, who is really the face of Black August. Right? And there were others involved, but George Jackson was called the Dragon, right? And he created his own martial art and everything, so he was a martial artist, warrior. So this is very fitting. And on that, Black August Resistance, and you would say back,
long live the dragon.
Long live the dragon. So if somebody says that to you, Black August Resistance. When I left the house today, my daughter Amy was there. I said, Black August Resistance. Normally, when I'm leaving, I'll say stay black, like I say here. And she'll say always, right? Or she'll say stay black if she leaving, always. That's the answer. So when I was leaving today, I said Black August Resistance, which I will do for this entire month. And she, long live the dragon. And I was like, there we go.
Respect.
Right. So.
Real quick, I wanted to shout out Eugene.
I manifesto say he didn't know that. Yeah, absolutely. And
just what we were talking about. That's what we're here for. Right. That's what we're here for. I want to shout out Eugene Mason. He purchased his tea, I think, yesterday. So send us a message. So we appreciate you. We're going to get that to you ASAPly.
Has I manifesto gotten his yet?
Yes, I manifesto does have his. We deliver within a day and a half, 2 days tops.
Hey,
so hit us up. You can't get a faster delivery.
Goddamn, you add an extra $5, I'll drive it to your house.
You know what I'm saying? Deliver it to you.
You know what I mean? Somebody say, well, it's cool. I'm in Canada. Like, well,
maybe not your house.
Yeah, you will wait on it.
Greetings, Yapo.
So we do want to thank you. We appreciate that.
Greetings, Emmanuel Briggs.
All right.
Big Jake, Howard, Toll, W.L. Nolan, Big Yogi, and all the comrades. Yes.
So I want to start out with just a quick little story. A friend of mine called and told me that happened to him. And just a reminder, because this is Warrior Class, so it's a reminder, stay, like Bob would say, stay chiseled. Be paying attention to what's going on in your surroundings. So one of my friends, and I'm just going to give you the rundown without telling on him all the way. He probably knows. But anyway, he likes to hang out at the bar with, let's say it's a multicultural bar. It's multicultural. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not. He's the only multi in the culture at the bar. But the point is, I'm always telling them when I come home, I'm like, yo, man, watch yourself when you round this place. Like oh man, I got my name on the stool. I'm like, some folks love you in there, maybe, but I'm sure some folks don't. You know what I'm saying? And
you act like they love you.
Right. So just be paying attention. So anyway, at that bar the other night, I believe it would have been Thursday night, he's at the bar and it's a Asian guy in there. I believe he was Chinese. They later on found out that he was, but it's this Chinese man in there. He's belligerent. He's fussing everybody. He's cussing, and nobody really knows who he is. The people that's in there. So my friend is outside on the phone. The guy's inside. The guy eventually comes outside and makes his way to my friend. Even though he's the multi in the culture out of the group, he thought he'd be exempt. You know what I'm saying? Because of his melanated skin tone, like he ain't gonna come over here and mess with me.
Well, the Asian dude was a multi too, wasn't he?
Well, yeah. So there was the two multis was in there. So he figured he ain't gonna say nothing to me. Sure enough. And if you see the guy was small, little guy, you know, I'm not gonna say small, but just, you know, maybe a little vertically challenged. And he said
he was teensy.
He was teensy.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
so my friend didn't say anything to him. He didn't respond back, which is good. A guy's belligerently talking crazy. You just look at, you know, he didn't say anything. He's staying on the phone. He just monitoring him, but he's not responding. So the guy's talking off, but the guy says to him, "Yeah, I know you. I know where you live at." That part. So, okay. He ain't paying no attention. He think the guy just drunk foolish. So he go back in the bar. They tell the bartender, ask him, will he go home? My homeboy like, why y'all asking me? It's like, because, you know, we can reason with you. We can't reason with, they always give you that one. You know what I'm saying? We can't reason with other guy. So he's like, no, I ain't going nowhere. So the other guy left. After about 20 minutes, he left. Goes home, gets out the car. Chinese dude starts walking towards him.
Damn.
It's like 3, 4 in the morning. Chinese dudes though, I said, yo, you were scared. I'm getting so no, I wasn't scared. You were scared. You come on. You can call it whatever word you want. The man that just said he know where you live at, you got in the car and he start walking towards you. Listen, I would have been
knew where he lived.
I would have been, let's say, nervous. I would still move, but that would have had my nerves right there. So anyway, the guy starts walking towards him. They're a parking lot away from each other. Let's say 30 yards. I know the parking lot. He gets out the car. He looks towards him. The guy starts walking. He stops in the middle of the parking lot and reaches in his pants and pulls out a gigantic sword.
I knew you were going to say sword.
I knew it.
And I'm going to tell you why.
The sword, he said he pulled it out and he had to raise his hand all the way up to get the sword out of his pants. He said the sword was almost as tall as him. He said, so, but the guy's still belligerent drunk now. He said, so he started walking away from the guy now. And while he's walking away, the guy walks towards him, but the guy don't run. The guy's walking slow. So he has like
Jason.
It's just like that. So the guy's walking slow with the sword, 3:30 in the morning. Lamar is circling his apartment. Excuse me. We're gonna have to edit that out.
Can't edit his live.
Oh, damn. It doesn't matter now. So my homie is circling his complex, the condos, and he gets around where the guy's still on the other side, and he ducks in his apartment. Condo looks out. He don't think the guy saw which one he got into, and he went and got a bat and his own butcher knife, and goes outside and say, "Let's do it." Can you guess what happened?
The dude disappeared and puff of smoke.
The dude got on the phone and called the police. He's got a sword in his hand.
When the police arrived, he still had a sword.
Good question. So he did not. He put the sword back where it came from. My homeboy went around, ducked around, and then went back in his house in the back way. The guy didn't know where he stayed at, but he knew where he lived at, which is dangerous. And if he'd have played it the right way, it could have been a fatal, dangerous thing. So the police came. They're looking at the dude talk crazy. The guy's like, "Hey, neighbor, come out!" He's yelling, neighbor. So they're not taking him too serious. And you know, the situation goes. He finds out who the guy is. He's a hibachi chef, so he knew how to use that.
Japanese, not Chinese.
Well, he could have been Chinese, still working at a hibachi.
That'd be odd, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But when you say he pulled the sword out of his pants, I was like, "That's Japanese."
He might be right, and they might be wrong about thinking he was. But how can you get?
Because the Kwandao.
Nothing like
So the Kwandao is the sword that you're describing. If it's Chinese, unless he could have been using a katana, right, which is thinner. Kwandao is long as shit and it's broad.
Yeah, and he mentioned
that big old broad sword. Mm-hmm. So now if he had a Kwandao and put it in his pants, the police really just
they didn't want
black man
because
they could have seen that, the imprint of that.
They waited 30 minutes to see if they could find the black guy, and this guy's the one. So anyway, he found out who he was, and you know, however that go, that's gonna go. But my thing to y'all is be paying attention. You get into something, you do not leave and go to your house.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You don't do that.
Yeah, especially if a man say he knows where you live, take that shit seriously.
That's different too. You say you know where I live at. Now we got to get to some other stuff.
Right.
So just wanted to give y'all that. That's real life. I know my friends. He has a lot of stories that doesn't seem real, but that's a real life story that really happened. So
now I tell you the way I knew there was going to be a sword. A friend of mine, Tommy, 3, 4 in the morning, sitting on his porch. They lived on Drake. I lived on St. Louis. Tommy's sitting on his porch. He said, he looks, it's a dude in a ninja outfit got a block. Said he's creeping down the block.
We had one of those.
And he got a spear in his hand.
One question: is before crack or after? During?
No, this before crack.
No, this mine was during.
No,
crack.
this before crack.
Do ninjas work with
spears, swords? Yes.
Oh,
You know, they got the ninja toe. People know about that. The short ninja sword. They got spears. They work with the Manriki Gusari, which is the chain.
Yeah.
They commas. They all kinds of shit and secret stuff because they were assassins. So you know, and normally they have on that ninja uniform. They be dressed like whatever the neighborhood is like. Then they get that moment like an assassin would do.
Mm-hmm.
But the movies have made that popular. That so he had on that outfit. So he said, "Look." So you couldn't tell the dude Asian or light skinned. Seems like Quiz.
It must be you.
That was my nickname, Quiz, because he's like, ain't no other martial artists around. They say he's moving like he's a martial artist. You know, he said, but Quiz don't do no Japanese shit. But hey, he could, you know, fake around. So he said, Quiz. He said the mother didn't say nothing. So he's Quiz. He said the dude was creeping. So he said he pulls out his 25.
Quiz?
You think the dude? He said the dude started charging.
Oh,
he said he forgot he had the gun.
I've seen that happen before.
He said the dude charged and came up with the spear. And he said, "Motherfucker!" And the dude threw it.
Whoa!
And so he got back in the door and it went across his porch. He said, "What the fuck?" And so he peeked out. He said, "Dude pulled out a sword and I was coming." He ran the crib.
And he had a pistol.
Yeah. He said when he got inside, he was like, and he looked, he was like, I got a pistol.
Listen, fear is up.
Yeah.
I seen the police raided a house before.
Hilarious.
And when they raided the house, you can see from the outside, when they raided the house, it's a gunshot house. I don't know if y'all know what that means, but it's straight through.
Yeah.
So
Shotgun house.
Yeah. So when they got to the back, the dude was in the cabinet. So it was right by the police head. So when he went and turned that way, the guy kicked the cabinet door open, and the guy with he got an automatic, a semi-automatic rifle. He got the rifle. He said, "Dingo, dingo, dingo!" But he instead of pointing the gun, he holding it up like this. He's scared. Dingo, dingo, get him, get him. The guy almost got out. It was like 10 officers. Would they be SWAT? I don't even know. No, they wasn't SWAT.
No, SWAT.
But they was, they was dressed like that. But he got through like 3 or 4 that was afraid because I jumped out and ran that just had their guns doing like this. Oh, excuse me. Y'all can see me like with their guns. That's amazing.
Like they clutching their pearls.
That's amazing.
Crazy, man.
Trained officers. So fear's a motherfucker.
Ninja spear chucker. That's exactly what that person was.
He was a ninja spear.
That's why I thought that
That was hilarious.
The
That's
spear
hilarious.
had like something, had a racial element to it.
Well, see, so when I know a lot of authors, when they write something African, they try to purposely avoid them using the spear. But I'm like, spear was the king of weapons on the continent.
They just vilified it.
But they like, call us spear chuckers and all that. It's like it's kind of like you go to a big event and it's 300 crackers and 20 blacks, and they got the juicy looking watermelon sitting right there. You ain't gonna eat it.
About to say,
you ain't gonna eat it. You ain't gonna eat it. Most things I tear that shit up, but most people not gonna eat it. I'll be like, nobody else wants something, you big pal. I'll be eating it, smiling, ha, grinning at
I may not remember when Chris Rock had a show. He had his own show on HBO, but he actually had a skit with Black people not wanting to eat watermelon in public and finding different ways to like take watermelon out of the store and stuff like that. So nobody knew they were getting a watermelon. They had like watermelon shoes, stuff like that. That show was so
my
funny.
same friend was in the liquor store, and he was talking to me, and he said it out loud on the phone. He said, "Oh man, they got watermelon Ciroc." And when he said it, he got crazy. He said, "Oh, that is the most white people here looking at me. I can't buy it now." He did not buy that. He did not buy that watermelon Ciroc.
I'd have been on that Ciroc.
Yo, we got some stereotypes.
And on that, don't drink no alcohol for this month.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get to
No
it.
wine, almost kill him. No, it's not. Let's go.
Now, cream liqueur isn't listed as alcohol. So I drink my cream liqueur every day. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm drinking 6 bottles of kombucha every night. I don't drink like that.
So Black August, this is the Black August episode, just going into what it is, what we're going to give exercises and things to do, ways to make it through this month. Okay. Yeah, so Black August is an acknowledgement and commemoration of the countless organizers, activists, and freedom fighters who sacrificed their freedom and lives in the struggle for Black liberation. Black August takes place during the month of August and was started in California prisons in the 1970s by Black freedom fighters who wanted to honor the lives and deaths of Black political prisoners murdered by the state, bring awareness to prison conditions, and to honor the radical tradition of Black resistance against anti-Black state violence and systemic oppression. Every Black August, we honor freedom fighters and political prisoners who put their lives on the line, risking social and economic security to defend the self-determination of Black communities. I first heard of Black August in 2006. And I was taught about it by our brother comrade Kalanji Jama Chanda. So shout out to him, because that's where I first learned about it from. I was politicized long before that, but there was a lot that I didn't know about, right? My lane was in combat, security, self-defense, survival.
Really. As much as I don't like giving Kalanji a lot of credit, and I got it from him. That's what when I came in contact with you, and you got it from him. So
likewise for me as well.
So shout out and on that we'll give you a site you can go to that is run by Kalanji, where you can get much more information on Black August. All right. Oh, and Black August Resistance. I think we said it. Long live the dragon. So remember that. I'll say it throughout, so we remember.
In August 1979, the first official Black August took place. The brothers and political family members who participated in the collective founding of Black August wore black armbands on their left arm and studied revolutionary works, particularly those of Comrade George Jackson. Many participated in the fasting for Ramadan, and during the entire month of August, the brothers did not listen to the radio or watch television. Additionally, they did not eat or drink anything from sunup to sundown, and loud and boastful behavior was not allowed. Support for the prisoners' canteen was also disavowed. The use of drugs and alcoholic beverages were prohibited, and the brothers held daily exercises to sharpen their minds, body, and spirit in honor of the collective principles of self-sacrifice, inner fortitude, and the revolutionary discipline needed to advance the struggle for self-determination and freedom.
It's interesting. For me, I've never been Muslim, but I have fasted for Ramadan before. And when I was first learning about Black August, Ramadan was during Black August. So that was the first time that I, fasted for Ramadan, ish, but also in solidarity with the other people who were fasting for Black August. So. Black August, therefore, became a commemorative time for us to embrace the principles of communion, unity, self-sacrifice, political education, physical training, and determined resistance. August has become a special month for Black power building. Revolutionary movements such as the Watts Uprising, Haitian Revolution, Nat Turner Rebellion, Fugitive Slave Law Convention, and March on Washington all happened in August. Additionally, many of our revolutionaries, such as the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Marsha P. Johnson, and Fred Hampton, were born in August. Here's a timeline.
Okay, August 20th, 1619. Firstborn African native captives were brought to England's North American colony of Jamestown, Virginia. August 16th, which is my oldest daughter's birthday also. 1768, August 16, 1768. Charlestown, South Carolina. Rebellious enslaved Africans, known as Maroons, engaged British military forces in bloody battle, defending their camp, which was a haven for fugitive slaves. They were actually formerly enslaved Africans. Okay. August 30th, 1800. Day set for launching Gabriel Prosser's revolt. On this day, over 1,000 armed slaves gathered to endeavor to secure their liberty. However, bad weather forced them to postpone the revolt, and betrayal ultimately led to the crushing of their physical force. August 21st, 1831, slave revolt launched under the leadership of Nat Turner, which lasted 4 days and resulted in 51 slaveholders and their loved ones being subjected to revolutionary people's justice. August 29th, 1841, street skirmish took place in Cincinnati between African and Euro-American, wherein Euro-American as in white American, wherein for 5 days Africans waged valiant struggle in defense of their women, children, and property against brutal racist terror campaigns. August 1854, delegates from 11 states met in Cleveland at the National Immigration Convention of the Colored People to advance the position that an independent land base nation be set up for the absorption of captive Africans in Babylon who wanted to return to Africa. August 1st, 1856, North Carolina. Fierce battle erupted between fugitive enslaved Africans and slaveholders who sought their capture and re-enslavement. The only recorded casualties were among slaveholders. So none of us caught it. August 1860, Freedom Conspiracy uncovered within the discovery of an organized camp of Africans and white American co-conspirators in Talladega County, Alabama.
August 2nd, 1865, Virginia. A statewide conference of 50 African delegates met to demand that Africans in Virginia be granted legal title to land occupied during the Civil War. Numerous off-pitch battles ensued during the same month as terrorist mobs moved to evict Africans from the land and were met with resistance. August 17, 1887, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, father of contemporary African nationalism, was born. And in 1906 of August, African soldiers enraged behind racial slurs and discrimination struck out and wrecked the town of Brownsville, Texas. Also, 1906, Niagara movement met at Harper's Ferry, Virginia, and issued W.E.B. Du Bois' historic manifesto against racist discrimination in Babylon against Africans. August 1st, 1914, Garvey founds Universal Negro Improvement Association, advancing the call for land, freedom, and independence for African people. August 23rd, 1917, African soldiers in Houston engaged in street skirmish that left more than 17 Euro-American races dead. August 1920, over 2,000 delegates representing Africans from 4 corners of the earth gathered in New York for the International Convention of the Negro People of the World, sponsored by the UNIA. The convention issued a Bill of Rights for Africans. And in August 1943, slave revolt took place in Harlem as a result of K9 shooting a brother defending the honor of African womanhood. More than 16,000 military and police personnel were required to quell the rebellion.
August 1963, 190,000 Africans, 250,000 people in total, took part in the March on Washington, led by Dr. Martin Luther King, to petition for the extension of the rights and privileges due to them mandated by the U.S. Constitution. August 1964, Africans launched comparatively large-scale urban revolts in the following cities: Jersey City, New Jersey; Paterson, New Jersey; Kingsborough, New Jersey; Chicago, Illinois; and Philadelphia, PA. These revolts were, for the most part, sparked by either police brutality or disrespect shown toward African womanhood. August 16th, 1965. Urban revolts took place in northern Philadelphia. August 7th and 8th, 7th through 8th, 1966, which we'll be commemorating in a few days here. A large-scale urban revolt was launched in Lansing, Michigan. August 28th, 1966, Waukegan, Illinois. Urban revolt launched in response to police brutality. July 30th through August 2nd, 1967. Urban revolt launched in Milwaukee. August 19th through 24th, 1967. A comparatively large-scale urban revolt was launched in New Haven, Connecticut. August 7th, 1970, which also will have an anniversary in this coming week. Jonathan Jackson murdered in firefight while leading the Marion County courthouse raid.
Another birthday, one of my daughters, my second oldest.
August 21st, 1971, George Jackson shot and assassinated in San Quentin by Tower Guards.
Was Tupac's Soldier Story about this?
Tupac's Soldier Story.
He had a song about Soldier Story about a brother breaking his bigger brother out of prison.
That probably was about Johnny Jackson.
I think it was. I didn't know.
And I believe Johnny Jackson was only 17 at that time.
I'm only 17 and got. He said that in the song, so it was definitely about that. But I never put it together because I didn't know. And of course, Tupac was political, astute. So interesting.
No. Historically, women political prisoners haven't received as much support or media attention, and that needs to change, of course. We cannot forget former political prisoners such as the women of the Move 9 or currently incarcerated political prisoners like the Reverend Joy Powell. We know that women are more likely to face harassment, sexual violence, and other harrowing conditions in prison. Today, organizers and activists face increasing surveillance, harassment, and prosecution. Just 4 years ago, more than 300 activists across the country were targeted by the Trump administration and unjustly indicted on federal charges. Every Black August, we honor freedom fighters and political prisoners who put their lives on the line, risking social and economic security to defend the self-determination of Black communities.
Eugene Mason, I believe, is saying that he was 16.
He was 16. Wow. 16-year-old man-child. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. That's incredible. But the whole movement back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, was driven by youth. Fred Hampton was only 20, 21 when he was assassinated.
Panthers, I know that they had programs to galvanize the youth, and rightfully so,
And then when you talk about, Deruven Wahad, he was young, Sekou Odinga, they were young, and they were Black Liberation Army. They were Black Panthers too, but they were Black Liberation Army, which was putting in work.
All right.
So, it's always driven by the youth. So that's another thing. Now they have driven a wedge, and that's on purpose, between the older people and the youth.
Yeah, right.
You don't have the respect they should, and we don't respect them at all.
Or fear.
And some of us fear them.
Yeah,
exactly. So we can't. Them. And people like me, who could train the youth, right? I try not to have a separation between the youth like that, right? I don't go into pull your pants up, you're doing, that kind of stuff. That can be worked on anyway. Now, I say from a security, once you have that respect and they're listening to you, the reason why I would tell a person to pull up their pants.
You can't move.
Right, you can't fight, you can't run, you can't defend, you can't carry your tools. That's why.
I show my nephews that they can't
But there's no me too. I step on my son's the bottom. He was wearing this jive low. I stepped on the bottom of his you call it hem, the cuff, whatever your pants. I stepped on that jive. I said, "Come on!" He trying to throw. His pants went down even more, exposing his butt and everything. Now he's trying to pull up. Why he trying to pull up?
No, you're automatically going to do that before you. That's going to completely distract you if you are
that's why
engaged.
In where I grew up at, women when they would fight, first thing a woman would do was snatch another woman's top off to expose her breast.
And then they go to that because you're gonna cover up.
And then they peppering you with punches, right? It's funny. I said, see, my wife was born for this because her mother. She said the only fight she ever saw her mother in, she was in a fight. The woman snatched off my mother-in-law's top, and my mother-in-law had sizable breasts and breasts completely exposed. So she just kept throwing. Like, I'm already exposed. So when I ain't get my ass and be exposed. So she just started throwing. She said she threw down, whooped that woman's ass with her breast just flopping in the wind. So, and I said, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's exposed, Now, but in my son's case, once his pants fell down, they're also around his ankles.
That's the part about sagging. They're around your waist. Around your midsection, and you can't move your legs fast. You got to take them little steps. They be walking,
and it shows you got to
actually are holding their pants up.
Yeah, they got to hold their pants when they walk. It got better now.
Dude was walking down the street, and he was holding up right here, and then I see the sag going like that. So he got a gun, he got a pistol. So he grabs that side now. So both your hands occupied. You wouldn't even pull out the pistol. Because to pull out the pistol, my pants gonna fall. He wouldn't even pull out the pistol. So he'd be like Tommy when he saw the ninja coming.
Exactly. One thing I want to say, man, I appreciate about us listing these dates. And one thing I think political studying this politics can do for you when you put the revolts and the revolutions and those things together, back to back to back, it gives you something to pull from. You know what I'm saying? Versus, I think about in that particular time in the 60s when it was happening, and they still try to do that now. But in the 60s, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have anything, so you didn't know what was going on over here in Virginia. I'm over here in Cali. Where they started to, the Panthers kind of had that link, that network with other organizations, but, just you didn't know. And even before that, especially you think about slave revolution, you know what I'm saying? You got to think like, all you know is I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have nothing to pull from. Imagine them saying, yo, they were voting everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to give you something to pull from. So I just, when you see all of this is things that they don't want to teach us, because if you knew this, and if you knew this was happening all through the 60s, and if like right now that there are things happening, but now it's the point you can't even talk about stuff now because they, so many agents ready to shut stuff down. But
you would also know if they taught these things to us that there were networks. So the BLA, when they had to escape from cops chasing them.
Right.
It was the people who were helping them escape too. Right. So those kind of things, when you see people having a revolutionary bent, at least supporting, take advantage of that, speak to people. When we were securing that caravan during COVID, well, during the uprising with George Floyd at the same time, right? Remember, we driving through the hood, elders putting up this, drumming throughout the neighborhoods. They didn't know we were coming. I mean, they were just doing this.
Right.
They felt the spirit of, doing something, right? And then as we're coming through there, they're like, oh, shit. It's a whole caravan of folks. But the enemy works quick. So by the time we had driven 6 blocks, they already had folks in there to try to rebel rouse, to try to cause disruption and shit, right? And we were shutting them down to the point they said, okay, let's see how they act now. They sent a car with no drive in it up the street. You remember that?
I was just thinking while you were saying this, I'm thinking, y'all just don't believe like the stuff that like it's almost unbelievable that. But I had to realize that we are so the possibility of us moving is so threatening.
Yes.
That if there's one whiff of a flame somewhere,
absolutely,
and they get whiff of it, they're going to try to put some over there to put that little bit of flame out. Like that, it makes sense to do that, but you just don't believe it until you see it. Until like you see something like this, this is out of place. Like all of a sudden they think. So yeah, I just really appreciate the times we're at now where you social media can allow you to see the things that are happening around the world, to galvanize you and give you that. But they're working on blacking that out too. So anyway,
I was gonna say, and Eugene is bringing this out also. I just talked about the Panthers having programs to galvanize youth. Eugene said he's a product of the Panthers breakfast program. We taught revolutionary thoughts as young men. The other thing I appreciate about these dates is that we can take them with our children. Take one date and have them research it. Look at something that's been, look at something that took place in your part of the country or someplace close to where you live and see what you can find out about it that maybe is not common knowledge just because you're in proximity of it, you know? But that's the great thing about having all of this information is that we can take our youth and start to teach them these things.
If I wasn't running late, I'm about to get into it. If I wasn't running late, what I meant to do was call my daughter and say, look, you got to watch the show live. And if you can answer my questions at the end of the show, I'll give you something. I don't know what but you got to give them something. But I was going to give her something. But now I got to say, I still can do it because we recorded. So she still got to watch the show, and I got some quizzes for her. That's what we're going to do. But, you know, incentives, whatever you need to get their children involved. So to do more than just give likes on social media and just taking a selfie, throwing up a black fist, the things you can actually do to exercise and develop self-sacrifice, inner fortitude, and revolutionary discipline. 1, we should fast to express our personal commitment to political prisoners to our liberty. I just thought about somebody saying, I don't do none of the stuff that you do during, Black August. And the reason we do this, if you want to do it, is to express your personal commitment to political prisoners, to our liberation and to resistance to colonialism and global white supremacy. So remember that when somebody said, I don't do none of that because I ain't no prisoner. Yeah. So whatever they might say for a reason, but you don't do it because even though that's an argument that could be debated. Are you a prisoner? I don't know. But anyway, So from sunrise until evening, we will abstain from eating. We abstain from consuming any type of intoxicants for the entire month of August.
And just a word on fasting. I fast regularly. I'm fasting right now, actually. I'm on day 32 of a 42-day fast, a 6-week fast. I'm just doing fruits. It is possible. You will feel great if you try it for yourself. But the thing about fasting is that it is a mental exercise. Like most people who don't fast, who never fasted, who aren't in the fasting mind state, just kind of view it as torture. Like why would you do that? Why would you not eat? We ourselves are in a place where people brag about being in a country where they can make horrible choices as far as the things that they eat. But the thing about fasting is that you kind of fall back one level or maybe a couple of levels from your everyday life, as far as the choices that you make. And it's like a spiritual thing. You start to become grateful for the things that you do get. So the fasting that we're talking about here is fasting from sunrise to sunset, which I've done. Like I said, I've done fruits. When I eat the fruits, I feel grateful for the fruit that I'm eating. But at times, it's not always easy. It's not always easy, and you have to really work with your mindset. You really have to be thinking about why you're doing it. Journaling helps, it helps you to kind of crystallize down on paper what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it. So just, you really have to work on yourself mentally. The fasting is more mental than it is physical.
And just remember that you don't really need the food that you're craving during the daytime.
The food is that we eat is so addictive.
It's just what you want, and it's just craving.
Right. All the things that we eat are so driven by industry and have nothing to do with what our bodies really need. And
plenty of times we go to the whole day when you're busy and you're doing something, it don't even bother you.
Well, you know what I mean? And let me say this: I had a person get angry with me when I told them this. Right? Now, granted, she weighed close to 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I get mad.
So she was in I wasn't fat shaming or nothing like that. She said, man, I'm hungry, man. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You have taken a signal and assumed it to be hunger, and that's not hunger at all. Hunger is in the throat. Thirst is in the stomach. So when my stomach hurting, you actually need something to drink. You're dehydrated.
Which most people
and she was like, I don't want, damn that, you're always saying stuff. I said, I'm always saying stuff, yeah. Just like you saying shit now, You're just mad because I brought you the truth. I didn't say, goddamn, I said, you're dehydrated, you need to drink something. I didn't say you don't need to eat, but we know you don't need to eat. Right. You got reserves.
Mom, yeah. The thing about the way that we eat, all these meals on top of all this stuff that we're eating is just sitting in your intestines. When your stomach is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it's because you have all of this undigested food sitting in your intestines. If you just drink water for a few days, you will start to see how that stuff is starting to break down, and you reach a deeper level of digestion that you never get to reach because you're constantly eating.
All right. So we limit our selection of social media, television, and radio to educational programs, news, documentaries, and cultural programs.
So no Pornhub. What's some other? What's the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Judge Mathis, my dear, if you watching. No Judge Mathis.
You making this personal, Barbara.
Abstain from negative thoughts, which we should try to do anytime. Foul language.
Also, we emphasize political and cultural studies.
Oh, excuse me. So also during Black Artists, we emphasize political and cultural studies. Pair off with someone else to read, study, and share knowledge.
That includes training in martial arts. Pair off with somebody. Train, stuff like that, right?
There you go. Abstain from negative thoughts, foul language, or arguments. I just want to say that one more time because it's really easy to have a negative thought. You never notice your language till you get around little children or elders. But all of a sudden, I was like, damn, I done said damn 17 times in about 2 minutes. So, all right.
And hopefully you can switch off foul language around little children and elders. I'm not sitting.
Oh my
now goodness. I'll curse. I'll be talking to my
That's
wife.
Worse.
My daughter sleep, and I'll be like, these motherfucking crackers, so and so. And then Okikiola wake up. I say, these doggone crackers. I switch it. It's like automatic, right? I'm not gonna curse in front of her or in front of my mama.
Oh no.
No way.
No. Even when I smoke cigarettes, I wouldn't even smoke a cigarette in front of my mom. Or my dad.
And I remember my mother bought me a beer. My eyes the biggest saucers. I was a man. She said, first she said, get you a beer, son. She had came into town. She ended up living here in Atlanta, but she was visiting. Get you a beer, son. I said, She said, get you a beer. So I got me a beer, right? I ain't drink in front of her. Then the next day, she was here for a week. The next day, she comes over to the house, puts the beer down. But it was my favorite beer, Heineken, which I cannot drink Heinekens no more. Heineken is owned by Bill Gates. I said, which also is Dose Key. I said, God damn it, which I also drunk.
That's funny. I've graduated to what's that lager? I like that lager.
Lager?
Which
one? Guinness?
No, I can't think of it.
Is Guinness a lager?
Guinness
is strong. It's a stout, yeah. And
no, Red Stripe.
So I would drink. Oh, Red Stripe is also from Heineken.
Yeah.
It's like
I can see that.
My dad was had gambling card houses and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he's passed now. He was a hustler, and I still never smoked in front of him, never cursed in front of him. Still, that's just the respect I have for my parents. And the thing is, my dad never cussed in front of me. My mama never cussed in front of me. Smoke when she did smoke. My mama drunk wine for a minute. She never drunk wine in front of me. But now she don't drink anything. My dad don't drink in front of everybody. Every picture he got a cup, but he never cursed in front of me or did anything. You know, I knew what he did, but he never did it in front of me, and I respect that from parents these days. The one thing I can't stand is to hear somebody talking in grown folk conversation around their children, holding a little 2-year-old or something. They just talking like whatever they talk, sex, fuck, shit, short.
That didn't exist back in the day.
Right, exactly.
I was out on the bus. I was still riding MARTA. MARTA is the bus system here in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta. Transport, some shit. Anyway, so I was riding MARTA, and this girl is cursing like a sailor, right? Just cursing like a sailor. And it was a brother said, hey, shout. He didn't know her. He said, shout. She was talking to her friend. He said, you don't be cursing like that in front of this elder?
Right.
I said, damn, okay. And she said, fuck that. This motherfucker that heard more than we ever have. This motherfucker. I said, thanks for trying. Thanks for trying, brother. Like that. And he just like sitting like, damn.
When we get ready to show technique, can I do the exercises before that? So switch the camera and all that stuff.
Sure.
Okay. So
exercise daily is
exercise daily is the fifth thing I didn't say. And I'm gonna show you 3 simple exercises that you could do and variations of those exercises. Don't cheat yourself now. If you don't have to do a push-up on the wall, you ain't got a hernia or something, issue that's messing with you, then don't do that. Do the real push-up. But I'm going to show you 3 exercises we're going to do in variations based on where you're at.
Now, just have a question. Why isn't your name large?
I was offended by that, actually.
That's misogyny. It's misogyny.
It's funny. I was going to say something, but I decided to let it go. Also, be sure to check out FTP Movement's Fitness for Resistance program. The program launched on Malcolm X Day, which is May 19th, and is continuing through Black August, the August the 1st through the 31st. Fitness for Resistance aims to develop discipline and self-motivation through physical and political training, education, fasting, and more. They also incorporate a variety of fitness activities such as calisthenics, martial arts, yoga, and jogging, culminating with the Black August 5K run. They are inviting everyone from all corners of the world to take part in an extensive program that involves calorie-burning exercises, mental discipline, and political education.
I got a quick question. I've never done the 5K run.
That's beautiful.
Do they walk it or do they?
You can walk it, yeah.
Okay.
Now 1 year, our dear brother, I won't name him because we have our issues, but he ran it in flip flops and beat everybody else. But when you touched by the heavens, you can do shit that regular folk can't do because he didn't give a damn. So he was so touched. He didn't give a damn his feet were on fire. He wore flip-flops and won. He can't run. I said, this is crazy.
That's why he kept that shirt for so long, because he did that.
See, I thought my wife, was hardcore. She ran with the baby.
Okay, that's all
right.
That's all right.
The
flip-flap.
But he had on flip. I said, he got you beat there. He got you beat. God damn.
Wow.
I'm going to have to big up him when I see him.
Shout out.
And it wasn't even our baby she was running with. That's up, Bill. She didn't kidnap a child. It was right.
She borrowed it, baby.
Right. It was another family member. She borrowed it. Yes.
Join in from where you are. Organize a group and/or event in your area. Make an impact by inspiring somebody or someone, or attending and charting your personalized training experiences using the hashtag Fit for Resistance or hashtag F4R.
Fitness for Resistance.
Fitness for Resistance and F4R. Experience it from the comfort of your home or come join us at events held in solidarity with one another. But remember that one of the points of these Black August commemorations is communion. So even if you would like to stay at home, which many of us do, try to be a little bit more outgoing, reach out to people in your community.
I want to say, good.
Just lastly, for more information on Fitness for Resistance and Black August, check out thepeoplesarmy.org.
Real quick, I just want to say, man, the importance of, I just want to mention role modeling. You may not think anybody's looking, but somebody's always looking. And I learned that real quick. I used to have this girlfriend, and she used to always be like, "Why you eat this? Why you eat that? Why you eat that? I ain't eating that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't like that." And the first time I met her father, I went to the house and her sister was there. And when I came in, the sister said, You the boy that got her eating all this crazy stuff. And I looked up and she had everything that was in my house. It was amazing. And I'm like, what's she talking? You just never know who's my oldest brother, same way. I just came from his house in Texas. I looked up at my brother is fried pork chop. He don't eat pork. If he's seen this, he'll slap me for that. He don't eat pork. He eat everything else besides pork. I look up in his cabinet and he got chia seeds in little things so he could take them to work or whatever and put them in his. So people paying attention. Don't think they not. Be role model. Be yourself. Do what you do and let people see you. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that.
It's just like when you're watching a movie and the movie paints this picture for you and now it becomes kind of a real thing. When someone's watching you do things, now that becomes something that's possible for them, even when they're resisting in what they're saying to you.
Right.
Now, below, now we're going to deal with the suggested reading list for Black August. Because, like Billy said, we should be studying. So, just part of the study is training, but also reading. You should try to read a book every day. It could be the same book that you're just reading the book, but try to read every day. And reading the internet, reading a post from a friend of yours that's not reading.
And it's bad for your eyes. Read a book.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a skill. Now, if your books are on the internet, that's one thing. Because a lot of people say, well, it's a blessing because they got poor vision.
Right.
So
that helps.
ebooks, you can enlarge them.
Yeah.
So, but just know that when you using that, try not to get the bright white books. You can get them dimmer so it's not affecting your eyes, as damaging your eyes. So here's a list. It includes both fiction and nonfiction, and the books are appropriate for teens and adults. And when I say teens, don't stretch it to 12. I say 13, and that's some of these books that's really.
You gotta know your child. Read it first.
Yeah, exactly. Know your child. I always tell people when they get my book, what age is it for? They read it first. And then before you definitely, because they be like, I want my child, because we're seeking things for the child, but we should also be seeking things for ourselves.
Yeah, brother.
And I say, read that first, because it's up to you what you think your child can stand. I remember having a conversation. I asked y'all, I said, I was writing a book. Is hell a curse word to y'all? Billy said, no. Omiligas, no. I can bobola and ogunle wow. Like, yeah, that's too much. So it depends on what, how you grew up, what your tolerance is, what you want your children to hear. To me, hell, I mean, my children here, because it could be talking about religiously, you know, somebody going to hell if they believe in that.
What you just said is
Right.
profound. I just want to make sure people get it when you said, you know, a lot of things we seek for our child and our children, and we don't think about ourselves. And it's the funniest thing. People ask me about self-defense.
Right.
I'm gonna get my kids in it. Can you protect yourself?
Right.
Because it's gonna take your child a minute, even when they get it,
Right.
to get a man off of them. You can get that very early. And that psychology I always try to give to them.
And y'all can train together,
And
all of
they're
that.
gonna be in it more.
But see, what happened, and it used to be more adults training in martial arts than children until, was it 83? When Mr. Miyagi, what's the name? Karate Kid came out.
Karate Kid.
When the Karate Kid, goddamn it, came out. First of all, parents were looking for all instructors to be like Mr. Miyagi.
Right.
And so even when you're dropping jewels on students or the parents, they don't see it unless it comes like Mr. Miyagi. I had a friend, he would count. My friend, black as hell, he's from the hood, martial art master. He would be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before that, he'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
But when that came out, he started 1, 2, and the students were all into it. I said, man, why in the hell are you sounding like you Japanese?
I can't stand it.
And you up off the damn south side of Chi-Town.
I can't stand us. I can't stand it.
So too much. And you know, all kinds of stuff, dude, tell me, you know, I'm Master Quan. A brother, talking like that, Quan. And then he said, you know, I said, well, you know, I'm trying to get all the brothers together who are martial arts, high level martial artists. We get together, we form a federation. But let me educate you first, young man.
Ooh.
There are no black, there's just white people and people of color. I said, so white man get his own shit by himself. He's so special. But we don't. I said, man, you crazy as shit. And I hung up on him, right? He invited me to his school and everything and tried to apologize in his own way. But anyway,
that's another example of movies galvanizing people.
yes.
Yeah,
So that movie, Karate Kid, had us jacked up, man, where now we started looking for our child. We want our child to be the Karate Kid. We're not thinking about ourselves.
Movies in general did us like that.
It wasn't until much later, until Steven Seagal. That's why people were so excited about it. When you had a man fighting as a
I
adult,
remember the hype.
breaking
When
mugs
Steven
up.
Seagal came out, it was hype. It was a lot of hype. He was it.
Right?
He was it.
Because finally, this some shit. You know, this before John Wick or Jason Bourne and shit. He was an adult getting down.
I don't know how to affect other people, other races. I just hate to see how movies affect us so deeply. You know what I'm saying? When it's black exploitation.
Well, you know, it's not just us.
I know it's not.
That's why they spend so much money to make movies, because in the United States, at least, you know, they're more Caucasian in the United States.
I just only see us. You know what I'm saying?
But,
so it's just
but the one thing I don't think they have is visceral a reaction to movies, where if a person's a hero in a movie, goddamn, they're a hero in real life.
yes.
That's why Bruce Lee is looked at as indestructible. And then when you look at infallible, you better not say nothing. And then the brother told me, he was talking about Ralph Macchio. So I said, Ralph Macchio is not a real martial artist. He is now, but he back then when Karate Kid came out, see what he said, he'll whoop your ass. Everybody knew me. And somebody, especially then, I was like 18, 19, somebody that would throw down. And I was in tournaments beating people around the world. But then the one I told you, grabbed my ribs. I said, dude, he may beat my ass, but I'm gonna fuck you up if you don't let go of my goddamn ribs, right? So he believed from watching that movie, Ralph Macchio was a master, not just a martial artist.
I'm not gonna beat us down, but I don't.
Manifesto.
I'm not gonna beat us down, but it just seems
Why?
like I haven't seen. I don't see white.
Yes.
I don't see white folks. Videos of them following actors, believing the actor is the character. Like maybe it's some
They do that for sure, but
not to our level,
that,
not that visceral. Like they're not gonna. They wouldn't put Christian Bale as Batman up as a superhero.
Even more so, I know black folks. I don't know a lot of white folks. So excuse me. I'm just gonna talk about us. Like I know black folks that see a person in a movie and that person be a bad character and they don't like the actor no more.
Yeah, like the dude. Now I admit in Power, Tyreek, I wanted to whoop his ass. I said, I see him in real life, I'm gonna fuck him up. But half joking, but I was like, man.
Of course.
But some of the characters that we do see, like Black Panther, it was played by Boseman, right? We didn't want nobody else to even replace him. It's a character in a comic book that came out in 1966 and not the first black character. That's a goddamn lie. Yeah. The first was Lion Man, which Black Panther was stolen from, blatantly stolen. But if we didn't want anybody but Chadwick to even play him, it's a character. Batman it should have been 4 or 5 Batmans.
We raised people, man, so fast. Obama was Christ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we just raised
except
people
the shit we need. At least people can recognize me as a lamb. At least they can recognize me as a lamb.
All right, back to what we was.
But yes. So you see, David Carradine, I am Kane. Everybody likes kung fu fighting. Yep. Now David Carradine, and that was some jacked up shit too. That was written by Bruce Lee. Yeah, they stole that. Talking about they didn't think an Asian man would be attractive to the public. It took his shit, gave it to David Carradine. Now David Carradine, Bruce Lee looked a million times better than David Carradine. Like, come on now.
They didn't give a damn.
They didn't care. It's a white man. So it wasn't attractive, because Bruce was way more attractive.
Ain't nobody gonna watch this.
Right. Ain't nobody gonna watch this Asian.
Who cares about an Asian?
But that's why they took it. What he wrote, the closer thing to what Bruce wrote wasn't that anyway. It's Warrior. If you watch Warrior, series, that's what he wrote.
Supposed to be.
Right. So if you haven't watched Warrior, I would say watch that, and you'll see a closer.
Wow. If Bruce Lee would have stayed alive, he might have been a great.
Bruce Lee would have been old as shit. He couldn't have played that part.
Well, no. What I'm saying, he could have been a great writer.
Oh, yeah.
He had a chance to be a great writer.
Yeah, he wrote. Now he stole too. He stole from the Odu Ifa.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote the story, but this, the Bible has a story that's straight from African traditions about, because in the Circle of Iron, this woman, 2 women fighting over this baby, and he was like, well, I'll cut the baby in half, and you both take. And they're like, no, don't take. No, don't do that. He said, that's the real mother. That's from the Odu Ifa, Ogun. Baba Ogun sees 2 women fighting over a fish.
I remember that.
It wasn't the child, over a fish. And he says, well, you know what? We'll cut it in half, give you both. And the other person says, well, you can just go ahead and keep the whole fish. I don't know. Because it was some kind of special fish or whatever, right? And he said, and fish represent children in the Odu Ifa, by the way. Yemoja is the mother of fish, not actual fishes, children. So he said, you can take and the other person said, oh, no. The other fisherman said, no, you can go ahead and take it. And he said, that's the real person, because he didn't want it cut up like that, right? And Ogun gave it to him. I want to say Ogun cut the other mother's head off. So Ogun was known to do that guy. Kind of sound like Ogun, right? Like, so another story, and we'll get back into it real quick, is Ogun and Oshosi went into town. Ogun and his brother Oshosi went into this town. And the king had accused, the king was a bastard.
I know this story.
And so next thing you know, the king's horse gets his head cut off and is in bed with the king. You've seen that in The Godfather. Yep. He must be stealing all kinds of shit. But anyway, so it's in bed with the king. The king, oh, my horse, my prize horse, right? And so he said, Oshosi cut off my prize horse head. Ogun said, are you sure? He said, it was definitely him. He said, if Oshosi cut your horse's head off, kill him. Go ahead, kill him. I won't do anything. But if you didn't, I'm going to cut your head off. The king said, sure, let's do it. Going pulled out his sword, cut the king's head off. He said, what? He said, Oshoshi did not cut off the horse's head. He said, how do you know? He said, because I did. So, the king's asshole, he set him up, took him out of here. That's Baba Ogun. That's the Ogun I love. Now,
I'm sorry. I wanted to shout out to iManifesto for bringing up Neely Fuller, because that is part of the way that they are waging war on us through the entertainment industry. And, Neely Fuller breaks down the different elements of white supremacy in his book. And entertainment is one of those elements. So thank you for bringing that out. iManifesto.
And of course, if you listen to Jared, half the movies that's out here, no, more than half, 99% of the movies out here, Jared hates them. And we break them down and show how it's negative for us. So when it's a movie I like, I do not watch Jared first.
Right.
If you saw it, I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to watch this episode. I go see that movie, then I watch the episode. But so some of the books that you should be cracking open, y'all. Asada, an autobiography by Asada Shakur, and I give brief descriptions. This intensely personal and political autobiography belies the fearsome image of Joanne Chestermar, that's Asada Shakur's government name, projected by the media and the state. With wit and candor, Asada Shakur recounts the experiences that led her to a life of activism and portrays the strengths, weaknesses, and eventual demise of Black and white revolutionary groups at the hand of government officials. So that's Asada, an autobiography. Live from Death Row by Mumia Abu Jamal. Live from Death Row is, and be sure to get one of these books and read them.
I thought that was I'm sorry. Yeah. No. Live from Death Row, I had it on CD.
Yeah, DVD.
No, it was. I didn't know about audiobooks back then. I thought it was just audio with him talking.
No. That's a book.
Okay. Good.
It's a collection of Mumia Abu Jamal's prison writings, an impassioned yet unflinching account of the brutalities and humiliations of prison life, and a scathing indictment of racism and political bias in the American judicial system. Now, I don't know if he did an audio thing first and they transcribed it or what.
And what was strange is the Emilio Estevez, what's his dad's name?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen is the guy who narrated.
So now, Blood in My Eye. That's by George Jackson, which is George L. Jackson, right? So there's Blood in My Eye, and there is Soledad Brother. I prefer Blood in My Eye. It's more revolutionary, but you may be able to stomach Soledad Brother more. Blood in My Eye came out after his brother was murdered. Okay, so it's a whole different energy, of course, that he had. Blood in My Eye is a book of political philosophy and much needed revolutionary violence for our liberation and self-defense. It was finished by George Jackson only days before he was assassinated in San Quentin State Prison on August 21st, 1971. Resisting State Violence, Radicalism, Gender, and Race in U.S. Culture by our very own Dr. Joy James. Okay, Joy James is on Guerrilla Intellectual University with Kalanji Jamachanga and Dr. Jerry Ball. Okay, and I actually edited one of her books.
Oh, wow, cool.
Resisting State Violence offers a stimulating and iconoclastic account of a world in which the United States functions as the political police center. Resisting State Violence is a clear-sighted and uncompromising guidebook for those who want to understand the forces that hinder social change and to effectively move beyond them. Okay.
Another book, How to Build a People's Army by Kalanji Jamachenga. How to Build a People's Army is a guide to a successful community organizing on a basic and practical level. The first edition of How to Build a People's Army is a basic training manual of sorts, filled with jewels from the lost art of organizing in order to arm the masses with proper information. Second book is the USPI Urban Survival Defense Manual by Baba Balagoon Ojitade, written by the co-chairman, the Lamb of the Urban Survival and Preparedness Institution, USPI. Urban Self-Defense Manual is the complete guide to survival in an urban environment, wherein woodland survival, also known as rural survival, is concerned with shift, as that's ish hits the fan events. Urban survival is concerned with day-to-day survival. We need urban survival and preparedness every day. We only need woodland survival when all things have fallen apart and we are able to make it to the forest and live off the land like Robinson Crusoe. The modern urban environment is rife with danger. Crime, violence, natural disaster, wars, and police terrorism are real-life possibilities for which few people are prepared. The home is no longer a place of sanctuary or heavily armed, militarized police have been conditioned to see people of African descent not as citizens to protect and serve, but as the enemy. The USPI Urban Survival Defense Manual offers readers simple, safe, and practical advice on how to prepare for and react to dozens of life-threatening situations. Whether you're caught in the city during a major earthquake or experiencing police terrorism in your neighborhood, it is always important to be prepared, not just with equipment, but with the knowledge of how to survive any dire situation. I have this book, is a great book. The USPI Urban Self-Defense Manual equips us with that knowledge.
It makes me think of The Walking Dead. How things have fallen down, but people aren't in the woods. They're in apartment buildings.
There you
go. And
go.
that's more likely what would be happening with most of us.
There you go. Knowing how to find water in that situation is not going to be the same as what you may have learned in woodland or that type of survival.
Some people, and let me say this: if you're teaching survival and all you know is woodland, just say that. Do not say to people, "This is a pet peeve of mine." I swear I'm not gonna holler. Black August. Right. Do not tell people. You need to get up out them cities, buy your house in the urban environment. Don't do that. Because everybody, like you're talking to people everybody can't afford that.
Right.
You asshole.
And the thing about it.
Excuse me. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. you chump. I shouldn't have called you an asshole. I shouldn't have said you're an asshole. Mm-hmm. You chump. To do that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. The thing about it is when you move out there, you are surrounded by the enemy on all sides. You are surrounded. If you go to the store, if there is any level of organization to our enemy that we do not see, all of these survivalist people and all these other people, if they are clocking or tracking people at all, they know, okay, that house over there is one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
And so when anything happens, guess where they're coming to? And you're surrounded. You can't go anywhere. You go out to them woods, they're going to be looking for you out there because they know how to survive out there too. Think about that. We think that we place so much value on being able to take this money that we're getting from these different jobs that people have more access to now and remove all of our resources from communities where people look like us and take them out there and be surrounded by our enemies.
Unless you can find your place with tree-lined streets where it's a bunch of us. Now, where we live, okay, on our block, it's probably 7% white in that house. We also have another house that you all have been to, and we didn't give up that house. In fact, that house has been worked on and fortified and all kinds of shit now. But everybody can't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you have two houses. one in the urban environment, one in the city. I'm not going to do that because everybody can't do that. And I couldn't have done it if it wasn't for my wife. This is it.
They're elitists now.
You know, my wife the ball. I ain't shit. So if all you have in an apartment, you gotta learn how to protect that motherfucker, man. That, excuse me, oh my goodness, Black August, that mother chucker. Right? You gotta learn that, right. You gotta learn how to protect that mother chucker, right? So just remember that. All you survival influencers, stop telling people to just go out to the forest just because you did it off of the money that people are giving you to teach them stuff. Chump.
I don't know if it's mentioned also, but surviving the urban apocalypse. I know that's going to be on this somewhere. It should be in our list somewhere.
It's not, but
it's not.
So I've written 42 books. You
just can't keep.
I don't want people to just, I want to be up in there like read my book.
Go to Baba Balagoon on Amazon and take a look at the list he has. There are several books dealing with urban survival preparedness and other things for this month.
And we're about to write a book. I got to put that out there on games and recreation for Black people.
There you go. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Bob. So last book I have to mention is The Myth and Propaganda of Black Buying Power, Volume 1 and Volume 2 by Jared A. Ball.
Our very own.
Yes.
All
right. These books offer a history and proof against claims of buying power and the impact this myth has had on understanding media, race, class, and economics in the United States. Further, these books expose buying power as both a marketing strategy and a myth, while also showing how the myth functions simultaneously as a case study for propaganda and commercial media coverage of economics. That's a really good topic. Because they're always being thrown that in our faces.
And that book two of The Myth and Propaganda of Black Buying Power, it just came out. So, get yours.
That's hot. I'm going to finish up with our last book recommendations before we go to the mat.
Malik, Confessions of a Black Identity Extremist, also by our very own Baba Balagoon Ojitade, the Lamb. Well-trained, smart, resourceful, and politically astute, Malik Moore believes you should prepare for the unexpected. That you bleed in class, so don't bleed on the street. And that the way you train is the way you fight, which you may have heard before. But when his family goes missing after a brief but intense encounter with a pair of white supremacists, Malik's skills and morals are pushed far beyond anywhere he ever imagined. Joined by Hank, a brother from the hood with no survival skills and a lot of heart, who is totally unprepared for what is facing them, Malik works against time, the elements, the government, and the ruthless alt-right militia in order to rescue the ones he loves in this action-packed thriller of survival preparedness and political intrigue.
Sound like my life. I always prepared to go against the elements, the government, the ruthless alt-right. Anyway.
Hailed as the Black man and woman's answer to the Turner Diaries, Malik, Confessions of a Black Identity Extremist, is a must-read for warriors, revolutionaries, and freedom fighters everywhere.
I've often been hailed as the...
My goodness. Kindred, which was a mini-series, actually, with one of our people here who had a role in there.
And they didn't put me in the end credits. That's why y'all didn't
be happy they didn't, because that shit was terrible. That stuff was terrible.
I couldn't watch
Now, the book was good,
yeah,
but woo.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you get back to it, Omanika, but just let me, when you hear people saying, science fiction and fantasy, can you recommend something? If they only are saying Octavia Butler, they ain't read nothing.
Right.
They ain't read nothing. They're just saying, they're talking outside it because that's who they heard of.
Right. That's the basic. That's the ground level.
I mean, she's good, but damn, there's so many.
She ain't no
authors.
Baba Bala. She ain't no Milton
I ain't gonna compare myself to her because a lot of people love her. It's like talking about Beyonce.
Right.
The Beehive.
Whoa. Yeah.
But I will
I'm
say
that
and that's something that black people do. We put a person on the
pedestal.
pedestal, and goddamn it, you
That's
better
it.
not say nothing about it.
Was it about Beyonce?
Right.
Oh.
Same with Octavia Butler. You better not. I know the sister who formed the OEB, Octavia E. Butler Legacy Society. Yes. Yes.
For some reason, they just like the S1W.
You better stop.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And she's a college professor. And you better not say nothing about I think so and so was a better writer. You might get stabbed.
But hey, if that's who you like, I'm just happy that you're reading Black Woman's.
But if you're gonna read some science fiction and fantasy, some good science, read Kindred, but you know there's other stuff out there. You ain't got to read my stuff. You ain't got. There's so much science fiction and fantasy, good stuff that and maybe we'll do an episode on that because
wow,
it's also some garbage out here that you should stay away from. But.
All right, so Kindred by Octavia Butler, who we mentioned, the visionary time travel classic whose Black female hero is pulled through time to face the horrors of American slavery and explores the impacts of racism, sexism, and white supremacy, then and now. Birth of a Nation, a comic novel by Aaron Magruder, Reginald Hudlin, and Kyle Baker, who Aaron Magruder, who we know as the creator of the Boondocks, the comic strip, and then
Reginald Hudlin,
the television show.
Reginald Hudlin did the Black Panther animated series.
Oh, okay.
He also did House Party.
Oh, wow.
I believe he directed it, but he did the Black Panther, that motion comic.
That was great.
Which was great.
It was the one where he beat all the Marvel heroes.
He beat Captain America's behind. And that drove Mud nuts.
Yeah. But that happened in the comic book.
And the comic book he wrote that comic book too. He wrote the comic book series.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay. And The Birth of a Nation, a comic novel, is a contemporary political satire that follows the events surrounding East St. Louis secession from the Union in the face of thousands of disenfranchised voters, a dim-witted and despotic president, and a plan to finance the self-declared Republic of Blackland with a money laundering scheme.
That's Love it.
Really
Read it.
Interesting. Yeah.
It is hilarious.
I think I'm going to get
So I picked it up and I said, yeah, I'll try it. I like Kyle Baker as an artist. So I'm reading through it and I could not put that mug down. I said, read a couple pages and go do some work with my own and writing my own. I could not put it down. I'm sitting there. My wife's like, you want to go get something to eat? You can go ahead. Bring something back. I'm like just in there and I'm just cracking up. She's looking in like, what is it? It is hilarious. Loved it.
The only reason I say I'm going to read this, besides it being described, how it's described, being a novel, I've never read anything besides what I was forced to read in school, which, I think forced reading of novels and stuff probably stopped at the elementary. I haven't read anything except how-tos and, what I'm saying, like instructional type things. I haven't read
non-fiction.
I guess that's what you would describe it as?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
People, and I'm sure that's most people here, they have mostly read non-fiction because we do the thing same we do with martial arts. Martial arts is for children.
Okay, y'all.
Fiction for children.
Yapo just got her Malik Confessions of a Black
Yapo. Thank you, Yapo. Now Yapo is in Central America too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
spread the word.
Yeah. Let them know. Hey, just got Malik Confessions of a Black Identity Extremist. Cool. Let me know what you think. It's got a book too, also. So let me know what you think.
Eugenia's
the book list in the description. No, when I get home, I'll type it in the description.
But Eugene, you follow us on social media, so you should be able to go to Bible page or the African Martial Arts page. If you stroll, it's a list of this book's gonna come up sooner or later.
I'll finish that and then get number 2.
I'll send you a list myself.
So, but I will put this in there because a lot of it's not mine.
Peace, brother Chris.
You know, I will put that in there.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the list. That's just scratching the surface of the books that you can read that's out here. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna do exercises, and then we'll end with martial techniques that you can work, train this month. So we're gonna keep it simple but effective. Work it this whole month, and I will guarantee you that you'll get benefits from it in all kinds of ways. So,
all right, I'm going to,
if you work it,
I'm going to switch nails. Part of my technically savvy. That's not.
Oh no! Don't stop the cam. Mm-mm.
Okay, I was just gonna make it black.
That'll end this.
Oh, see,
that'll end this whole thing. Just turn it. It's
okay.
cool.
So boom.
Yeah, like that.
You like that, don't you? Hey, okay.
Cool. We normally do stop cam if you wanna. Oh, but it's the only one.
Yeah,
that's what we had too. Okay, so we're gonna do some real quick, simple exercise. Give me a second here, get us set up here. All right now.
You should have got it and helped you with that relay eye.
No, we good. I'm gonna get right here on the so you guys can see the mat here. That looks about right. There we go. Okay, see me pretty good.
The mat's name, by the way, is Terrence.
Yeah, the mat named Terrence. So you guys just after being around Baba so long, you just learn how to go with. You just go with whatever. So we're gonna start 3 basic exercises. Is what we're gonna do. So you've seen these exercises, but we're gonna do variations based on your health, your mobility, your strength, and your weaknesses. So I don't have any weaknesses, so I can do all of these. So we're going to start with the push-up. Very basic, very simple. And the reason why I'm giving you these exercises is because it's the reason why some exercises last through the test of time. They've proven to be effective at what they do. So push-ups, this is an effective exercise to build strength and build muscle, upper body strength. But you can target. You can do different things. I'm gonna make sure we got a little bit of rooms because I want you guys.
When you hear also, if you hear a British person say press ups, that's push ups.
Exactly. I was about to say if you hear bones popping, that's also
British people somewhere else. That's not them.
Right. I want to say this too real quick. I am almost about to be 50 years old. 2 years ago, I was in a head-on accident and then got hit in the back during traffic going about. Car hit me doing about 50, 60 while I was actually stopped and dead in traffic. I had knee surgery. I got 7 ruptured discs. It's 3 in my neck, 4 in my back, or maybe 5. Maybe it's 2 in my neck and 3 in my back. So let's say 5. I think I'm taking away 2. I got 5 ruptured discs, and I'm doing these exercises. I'm not a superhuman or anything. All it takes is starting where you can and doing what you can. There's certain things I may not be able to do that well. So, that may go apply to you too. So I just want to say that. So you're not looking at me like, oh, he can do it, but I ain't gonna be able to do it. So regular push-up, one thing, you've all seen it. I'm just gonna get like this sideways. You see it first, and then I'll do it in front. So
watch out for your shoe, man.
Thank you. Let's move the shoe over a little bit. So one thing you can do, we already know, if you can't do a push-up, it could be your arms, it could be a lot of things. What you can do is different things. So we know regular push-up for one is just want to be straight out like this, arms, and I'm gonna show you from a different way. You want your head not up. You can just have it just like this, and you're going straight down. That's a regular push-up. So if you see me forward, I want you to see my elbows don't do that. They don't go out, they go in like that. Just so you see that motion right there instead of this. If you got to do this, don't. Simple as that. So you can stay in plank positions. If you can't go down yet, then plank. Or you can do push-ups on our knees. It's inverted push-up like that. Not inverted, but that makes it a little easier, a lot easier for you. Some people call these women push-ups, but the women in our class don't do these. So I don't know where that came from. I just call it a modified, easier push-up. So you have that.
That's a shea butter push-up.
That is a shea butter push-up, but you might have to start off a little shady.
Right.
It's okay. Work through that. But again, if you can't do that, you plank. And of course, we know the different push-ups you can do. You can do the V push-ups with your hands like that inside. You have the military push-ups inverted. And you can look up different push-ups, different variations to see what you can do. And like I said, you can plank. So the next thing I'm going to go to is a crunch, so to speak, because we want to do upper body. And we want to do the abs or the midsection. You want to get your legs and everything. So lower body, what you call. So from here, we got different things we could do. Everybody knows what the crunch is. The crunch, you don't want to grab the back of your head. That's one thing. You don't want your neck doing that. When you see me doing that, I'm grabbing the back of my ears, but they're kind of big, so it looks like I might be grabbing the back of my head. But a crunch is simple. It's not all of this. All you have to do is simple, just like that. That's a crunch right there. That's the crunch. You don't have to even go all the way up. Now, for those that want to get more out of it, you can put your legs up. Simple like that. Just like that. You can hold this. That's for the lower. And you can go to greaves and you'll see that's targeting different areas. So you can work with that. You can modify this to do different things, like I said. Around, you can scissor those. But all of those are working your midsection. I did the wheel yesterday for the first time in a long time, and boy, whoo! It's something. I tell you, I don't want to work around. I don't want to stay on the mid till I might start cramping up in there. So from there, we're going to go to squats. And again, you can modify these squats depending on where you at. So for everybody who may not know or not seen a squat without weights, I'm going to do it sideways because that's important to see how my hips look. So one thing about squats, I'll start first. Just a straight down squat like this, 25 squats a day, if you don't do any, will change you. Now, some people cannot bend down that far. So for you won't be doing squats. But if you can, wherever you can bend, if this is all you got, then that's all you have to do. You may have to get against the wall. I'm not going to get against this window, but you can use the wall. That's a yoga squat, some people call it. Use the wall for support and just hold that, or use the wall to go up and down. It's the same thing, except you will be using the wall to go down. Now, again, the squat does different things. My feet together, it's going to be more hams, wide. It's going to be more glutes. You'll feel that, experiment with that. Now, for those you want to do advanced, could you check the chat, Susan, to make sure you're not asking me any questions? For those you want to get advanced with your squats, there's different things you could do. So you can squat, and you can leap squat. So say this is another squat. So come forward. I stay in this position. I'll go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one squat. 1, 2. You get it. Another thing you can do for the people who want to do more, just a squat. Go down. That's all you do, twist. Simple enough. So you can do that. I'm going to end with, hi everybody, I just got back from, okay. I'm going to end with a burpee, which is basically a squat to a push-up. It's combining all of these. And I just want to throw that in there because that's how you work everything together. Up and down motion is what's going to make you actually burn the most and everything. So you want to get rid of lean cardio, up and down motion. So here we go. I'm going to show you a regular burpee first, and then I'll show you a modifier real quick. So regular burpee is just, side is better. You're gonna, some people jump, that's up to you, but it's just down, push up, you're gonna come out, push up, ooh, you heard that? Then jump, 1, it's a burpee. So I'll show you that one more time, and you can decide, some people come here and throw the legs out, Some people do it all in one motion. Right here, jump. Let me push up, jump back up. And the last thing I'll show you to modify that is they call it a military burpee or a Navy SEAL burpee or something. It's just a 10-point burpee is what it is. I don't know how I got all of that. So it's a 10-point burpee. Looks like this. All right, so you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all right? Oh, no, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I skipped one. Let me try it again. I messed that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-point burpee. And now we'll round it out with that. Any questions, concerns?
I got some concerns.
What's the concern? You don't have to do the 10-point burpee. You just do the
I was going to say, you said a modified burpee. I thought it was going to be like the easier burpee.
Oh, no. There's no such thing as an easy burpee. The easy one is the first one. You don't have to jump. You can squat. Easy burpee. So this is the easy burpee. She's right. It is a modified burpee. A modified burpee is this. Down, out. You don't do the push-up. Back, up. That really is a modified burpee. She's right. One more time. Down, out, back, up. That's all you can do. Do that. If you can jump a little bit, add that to it.
I wish Kool-Aid was there. Like backflip, down, out, in, back, backflip.
If I had more room, I'd do the back. You got enough room for that. I don't.
Now you would do the double backflip.
I wanted to show another squat that you can do because I do have a hernia. And so you're not supposed to do a lot of jumping with it, but there's one that I found that's pretty good. I make sure that my middle is wrapped when I do any exercises, but I just squat and then jump to the side and squat. And it gives you like a jump, it gives you movement with the squats. So if you keep, if you do 25, if you do a certain amount, then you can start sweating, depending on where you're at,
yeah.
But it gets your heart rate up a little bit. But it's very small motion.
Exercise we used to do every day in class is squat and we call them steam engines. You squat and bring your knee to your elbow. Ooh. Squat, knee to the other elbow.
So I hate to say I love exercise, but I really like different exercises. We could do a whole warrior class on exercises. Mm-hmm. And I kind of think we should. Maybe a warrior class workout video where me and just work y'all out, stretch you out, and then we just take you through some workouts.
I was going to try to miss that one.
But that's a great squat. That's a great squat. I like that. And you can work a lot of these things I see people do on YouTube. They making them up. Y'all do realize that, right?
And it's funny because we did have a warrior class episode with our good brother Ryan, who is a personal trainer. Yeah, and he kind of he didn't say that exactly, but he kind of spoke to the fact that, and the thing that I always kind of suspected is that a lot of people are they're making it seem like they're these experts on how you have to do these exercises in a certain way, but at the same time he's saying, make sure your form is good, but you don't have to do any certain things with some of these exercises. So just get moving. Like that's the important thing.
That's really important.
All right, excellent. We're about to get into some technique. So some simple stuff. Whoa. You've seen us do covers before, right? And we'll just quickly go over that and then adding to that. So with the cover,
we'll prop this one time, Bob. Mm-hmm.
With the cover, It protects you against straights, hooks, overhands. Okay. When we say that could be straight punch, kung fu palmish, whatever, right? Boxing punch, hook, of course, any type of hook, slap that moves that way. Overhand, looping hook like that. Number 10 strike, like we throw anything that comes down on you in that way, right? A ridge hand. So it can defend against all that. Those are most of the ways that strikes are delivered. So when you learn how to do the covers, you're pretty much protected against most of the common strikes.
Right. Just simple.
So with the cover, you want to bring your elbow up to the height of your brow. If you can't, for whatever reason, you got something going on with your shoulder, if you can get it up to like above your, like in line with your nose, that'll be good, but you really want it in line with your brow. Okay. You want to shift your hips on the side. So if he was striking me on the right side of my face, or with his left hand that's coming, towards the right side of me, your hands move inward, so you know. So that's coming to the right, whether you throw a straight hook or whatever. I bring my cover up, and I also shift my hips, just like you're throwing a punch. So I raise my heel, shift my hips. So he throws, I cover. If he throws the other hand, I bring the other foot down, I raise this heel, cover. Okay?
The same if he was throwing a punch.
And I'm not bringing my hand out like this, because if I bring my hand out when he punches, I bring my hand out, well, do the other side so you can see. I bring my hand out, my face is open, but he punches and I shift with it.
Right.
He doesn't have that. I can look through this space or I can look underneath, depending on how my arm is, okay? Now, that's the beginning of the cover. Now we also move forward with it. That's really how you do a proper cover. This hand, if I'm covering with this hand is protecting this side of my face. If I do this side, this comes down to this side of my face. But I move forward. So now he throws a punch. I don't care what type it is. I come into it. And I can either come with the foot on the same side, or he punches, I can come with the foot on the other side to give it that twisting.
Now I gotta ask as a student, when does it, or is it just, because I've been wondering that for a minute.
It's up to you. So you throw, I'm here. So I'm in that's going to affect technique that I'm using. Okay. So if you throw and I'm here, that isn't there.
I feel it different.
So now it's different.
Different techniques.
So it affects different. If you ask me which one do I use, I say, ha, nice try. So it all depends on what's going on and where I feel I can set you best at.
Sorry about that, Joe. I needed that to take home.
So what I did there, if I'm covering with my right, I step with my right, or I step with my left.
As long as you're moving forward.
Right, just come forward on him. So he has to be threatened by the elbow.
This works.
So punch with that hand so they can see each side. No, the other hand.
This hand?
Yes, so they can see. So I'm here. You see, I came forward. I close the distance. If he punches again on that side, I'm in there. He's here. Okay? So you want to always advance with it. But if you're standing somewhere, hey, Ominique, so-and-so, and he punches, boom! I throw it, I don't move forward because it happened too quick. Now, if he's foolish enough to throw another hand, now I come forward.
Yeah. First time it's like, oh shit, but after that, you start moving with it.
Right. Someone may mention the 52 blocks.
52, now, okay. So 52 blocks, the way they do, they call it closed door, I believe.
Right.
So the way they do it is, if he punched with this arm, if he did a hook with that arm, they attack that arm.
You're welcome.
Okay? They attack that arm. The reason we don't do it that way, if he throws a straight slowly, I can't do that. I get tore up.
Yeah.
So we just throw the cover. If he throws the straight, boom, it slams into his hand. If he throws the hook on the other side, boom, I'm coming in. I hit him with the elbow. If he throws the overhand, which really be silly, boom, just knock him out because I'm all in him now. Okay. So I would deal with all that, where it's closed door, attacking that way. It's limited to using that against the hook. We can use it as a hook straight. Now they have attacks against straights, of course, but our cover, we keep it simple. You ain't gotta learn anything else.
I just want to say this is the greatest thing about African martial arts that we got is that you don't have to learn a lot of stuff for different. Like I said, the win has one name. Right. This is so effective. I don't have to do something else for the hook. I don't have to do something. You can, but I don't have to. And then the part that I love about this is the same footwork. I don't have to learn new footwork to throw this elbow. It's the same. If I was throwing this jab, same footwork. If I was throwing this hook, same footwork. So you don't have to learn a bunch of stuff. Right. It just makes it so. And I just want to say one thing. I know you. Mm-hmm. In a real situation, this is work. When somebody rushes you, the first thing you want to do is put your hands up. So you start training this, and the first thing that happens, somebody's start hooking off. You're like, oh shit. And then you start moving forward. The first thing that happens, I don't care who, no, I do care. What's going to happen is one of two things. The person is going to be punching. They're going to get jammed up. They're going to jam on their hands up. Or they're going to see you advancing. Either way, they're going to stop. It's a point where they're swinging. They're going to either get jammed or they're going, either way, that motion right there is going to happen. And you can just, after you train for a while, and you, like you say, I can see while I'm moving like this. And once I feel, or it really is feel, once I feel your body start doing this, that's when I got you. Because now you on the defense now. And you ain't throwing nothing. What the fuck is happening? That's what the importance, and that's
now,
I get hype about covers, man. It's just
somebody said footwork. With the feet, all you're doing is stepping. If I step 6 inches with my front foot, my right foot steps 6 inches, and I just bring that forward there. I'm not dragging my feet like this, like when I'm walking dead or something. I'm actually stepping. So this foot comes up, steps, this one steps, right? I step 2 inches, this step 2 inches. So I made inch on. But usually when I'm attacking, I'm stepping like a foot with my front foot, my rear foot follows. Whichever foot it's on. If I want to switch my back foot, heels raised, it steps at a diagonal, and now the right foot's my rear foot, the heel's raised. It raises the heel, right? So I can throw the cover off the front foot. I can throw that same cover off the rear foot. Okay? So that's how.
What about if I'm throwing the elbows where I'm coming with forward with both feet?
Now you can do circle, so you can do a circle step. That's circle step, right? But that becomes too mechanical. It's easy to defend yourself against. Mm. So if Omni can put up a guard, come over here and put up a guard real quick. What I meant by that, I'll just put the guard right on. If I come here, bang, right? That's one thing. Or if I want to hit her twice, I come here, bang, bang, right? It's right there. But if I go like this, bang, 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 you start knowing he's coming with that elbow.
Okay.
Again. So instead, I want to come with what we call arrow steps, straight forward, or I come at that diagonal, right? But even if you're too far, the next part that we're doing, it takes care of that. Usually, you gauge it. So if she throw a hook with this in so you can see. And I'm here. And I didn't touch her. And she's not, don't like she's going to throw another strike. That's when your hammers come. Mm. Okay? And that's what we're about to do next. So we're doing covers to hammers. Come in real quick. And no, this isn't misogynoir. I don't want to be seen beating up on it because that would be misogynoir to both.
You already hit me in my
Beating up
nose
on
one
both.
time, y'all.
Right. So hey. So from here, what I want you to do to make it simple, we're gonna do a simple one. We're gonna add on. He throws, we'll do hooks because it's easier. If he does a straight and I'm here, punch, I catch him here, it's no more. I'm so far out, I would do other stuff at that point. That changes the paradigm. He throws a hook.
Plus, he's assuming I ain't a sucker and I ain't gonna throw them straight from right here most of the time. He get a little clue, try to come in.
Right. And if he throws it straight, he's a boxer, straight or cross, it's cool. He just eat, boom. He eat. If he throws the other hand like a fool, he'd be a fool.
Yeah, he
eats.
Fool,
He eats. In fact, he'll eat, and then I knocked it. You okay?
Yeah,
I knocked that down just because I snapped his fingers. I make him even worse. I know I got a dummy now. If he throws, he got this hand hurt, and then throws that one your hand. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh my god. So he throws the hook. I cover. After the cover, I'm like shit. I threw it. He's outside. I can't really reach him with this hand. The hammer flies.
Dang.
So it's a downward hammer. When we hammer, we're trying to hit with this thick bone right here. If your bone right here, you say, oh, I got arthritis in the bone. Folks are always looking for stuff. When we first started, y'all know everybody was giving excuses why they couldn't do certain things. Mm-hmm. Well, then hit with this fat meaty part right here. Boom. It's not as powerful, but it will do something, like my old man always say, right? But here is better with that bone. After you hit with this one, boom. You step to get closer. Boom. That one follows.
I'm set up now.
And now he's set to get thrown, all kinds of stuff. I can throw another elbow in there, or using me, I'll bring that right down. Once I bring that down, I can bring that knee across, boom. And that ain't where I want to end up. I'm right where I want to end up now. Mm. He is in trouble here. I just put that, I touch his own hand. He said tap, tap, because if his head can't move with it like this to avoid the pressure, he's screwed. And to do your thighs to his thigh, he ain't going nowhere anyway. You dislocate his shoulder, which is what you want. Once his shoulder's dislocated, he stays bent, and then you just held knees on. Bring your knees up. Okay. So once again, that is here. I step forward. Let me get in this position. So the first time I stepped, it was my rear foot, but now I'm gonna use it as my front foot. You hear? Slam that into his nose. Or slam it. You can slam it here so he can't use the other hand. And then I can step around and strike. But here, boom. I keep it simple for y'all. Boom. Boom. Throw that other hammer. Okay. Knee up into him. And then I put my thigh to his thigh. He's called in what's called a kukar. Kukar is a chicken. Okay. That's the chicken wing.
Chicken wing.
So that's that. Let's say you say, well, I don't want to be grabbing them in the chicken wing and all that. I just want to strike. Cool. So from here, now we're going to add in an elbow after I step too. So he punches. From here, hammer. Hammer. I step again. Downward elbow. That's a diagonal elbow. So come over here. So I'm in you always have your dominant side, if possible, forward. I'm a righty. My dominant side is forward. He punches. I bring that up. Hammer. Hammer. Now I step, throw right behind his ear or whatever I can get. Throw elbow. Going downward, diagonal. Oh.
That's bad.
Okay, I do it one more time and then we'll add the last part to what we're going to do. He throws. Okay. You did. And be careful. You don't want to be hitting like your wife with the elbow, behind her ear.
You give it a couple times to do that.
Yeah, she'd be like, hey, if you divorce or you ain't getting nothing for me. All right, so strike, bang, 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 bang. Okay, one more time. I'll show you the floor. I'm being careful. I don't want to hit him with that elbow even by mistake. Go there, bang, 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 bang. That's what you're doing. Bang. Okay, that's about the patient movement. After you hit him here, bang, you come back up. We call this the lawnmower elbow because it's like, right? So boom, bring that up into his face. Okay, and then from there, he would catch it to his throat for me, but you can just stop really from there. So once again,
Robert, y'all want to switch sides so they can see this?
if they do this, he won't be able to see. So
But they can see the things that they can't see when you're doing it.
Okay, I got that. So what you gonna do? The other elbow now or same elbow?
Same one, so they could see what you do from the other side, I guess.
Okay. So he punches with the hook. Boom. Step. Okay. Elbow's not close enough. Strike. Strike. Elbow behind the ear. And now, so I go straight through that. And now I come up like you're pulling a lawnmower. Boom! Slam that right back into him. To his face, his throat, whatever it may be. Okay, let's turn back around here. So once again, he punches. Bang, 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 bang. It's there. Boom! It's there. Bang. Okay. So again, last time. Catch it. We'll go slow. Elbow. Hammer. Hammer. That's to the neck. Step. Elbow. Behind the ear. Come through. Remember, lawnmower. Boom. Up. Into the face. There. And then from there you can turn and throw another elbow. Boom. Into his throat or into his shoulder to knock him back, wherever it may be.
Or line mouth like he did.
Or lion. So lion mouth is to the throat. To the throat. You practice that by tapping the chest. Do not practice that hitting to the throat, actually. And it's in between here. Yeah, exactly.
Do that with your friends.
So that's how that's done. Real simple stuff. Okay. So it is elbow, hammer, hammer. Elbow, hammer, hammer. Elbow, elbow. Right?
This a cutter?
No. Elbow, he knows that we have no katas. And we're anti-kata, if you will. Do it if it's your art. But elbow, hammer. If you notice elbow here, I'm shifting to hammer. Hammer. Elbow, elbow. It's right there. Usually I'm in close. A lot of times, if a person is grabbing you, they go to grab my body, right? He goes.
I'm going inside outside because you got.
It doesn't matter. Keep my arm safe anyway. So I come here, boom, slam it, and I'm close. Roar! I drive all that weight up.
I like this.
Into
him now.
Right, boom. So this is cool. He's grabbing, right? I'm boom, and then I'm here. Even if he's down, I.
You get up.
And when I stand him up, bang, give it to him. Okay. So that's another thing you can do. Or you can go straight into it. If you ever grab, he grabs. I'm not going to, but if it's their user, so I got to do something, right? And say he's too close to me to get the elbow. I smack his ear or whatever. I just come down like this, and this is hit. Boom! And you can just throw that. So you're like, shit. Base yourself so you're not throwing off balance, and come over his head, and then bring that shit up.
I'm thinking, but I can't even get in here. I can't hide my head right here.
Bro, you okay?
No, I can't hide it. I thought I could hide, dip it on the side. Like
so you dip your legs and explode everything up. You're pulling that like, damn, I gotta turn this lawnmower on.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
So I mean that's coming for this face for y'all anyway.
Oh, right.
So imagine getting hit with by that by tomorrow.
I don't have to imagine it's coming.
Well,
yeah, no,
yeah,
for real.
he would say, come again. Like, hey, no, man, no, not again.
Not again.
So, any questions?
The
opponent is rocked with that other hammer. Yes, so that's the whole idea. If they drop beforehand, shit, this, breaking the nose, this, turning out the lights if you hit him hard enough, right?
Yeah.
And as his lights are going, go ahead and feed him that too, behind his ear.
Behind the ear?
And if you hit him behind the ear and he's falling, stand his ass back up. Boom. And then work.
That's the only time I recommend standing somebody back up. Other than that, if you got, especially if you got their arm or something, don't lift nobody up.
No. But in that case, stand him up.
Stand him back up.
The name of that kata is Ogun's Iron Elbow.
There you go. Somebody said that. That'd be dope. Ogun Iron Elbow.
That's a comment you gotta say it before you do it. That's the one of the movies you say the move and then you do it.
And you like a block phone. Hot moving towards like.
And of course, they just wait while you do that. They just gotta wait up.
Right. When they doing their own flowering,
flowering
Punisher. Y'all coming at each other. That'd be dope. That'd be totally not African martial arts. That'd be dope. Right. Opponent is rocked with that other hammer. Yes. Ogun's Iron Elbow. That is dope. I'm impressed with is that other technique. You know, that's like something that'd be a good type of movie.
Sure do. This sure do now. It's got
people getting killed, and this expert comes in and said that was Ogun's Iron Elbow.
Right. They investigate around.
That would be dope.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, sure. That lawnmower is devastating. Yeah, the lawnmower is devastating.
Yeah.
I usually avoid teaching that because every time I teach, I get rocked. One of the students rocks the shit out of me, right? Usually a person like Ominiki. So Ominiki is here if she is low or has me low even. But let's say I have her low. I'm about to strike her. Do not, please. She comes with that lawnmower and it usually gets me right here. Go ahead. But right there. It's more out like this. Boom! Right in the solar plexus. That is bad. Yeah. Worse would be this. I'm just too tall for it to hit me with that. Because that's crushing. The only way that would happen if she had me low.
Oh, right.
So say you got me low with whatever, right? And then you bring it, like I said, over my head, and you could be pulling me here or whatever, and then you now that would probably kill me. Because she's pulling down and you're pulling down and now I got nowhere to go. I'm taking that full, it'll at least knock me out because that gets knocked back like that and I'm in this awkward position so I can't move with the force.
It's the power coming from your legs and everything. Like you got all of this coming with
and
that.
this is a battering ram anyway.
So it's enough to get hit with that. To get hit with, my gracious. I hate every now and
I've hit one person in my life with that, and that was in a fight back home. And the fight, it wasn't no fun because the fight didn't last. He's off his toes like this and fell. I'm like, come on. You know, I want to look good. Come on. He ain't getting up. I'm like, damn. You know, so I couldn't look good to the lady sitting there, you know. I wanted, kind of move, hit him, wink at the lady, then go back. But I didn't get a chance.
You wanted it one way.
One way, it was the other way. My old man was always like, you won.
Right.
That's you worry about. You get some ass later, boy. You know, that kind of thing. It wasn't Black August, so he said, get some ass. So he said it, you know. If it was Black August, he would say, you get backside later, son. Backside later.
He's working on it, y'all.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best, you know.
It's getting more lambish every day.
More lambish every day. This month is going to really help me.
It's the lamb month. This is the month of lamb for you.
I'm going to come out and I'm going to grow my hair so it's long, too. Like Jesus.
See, I was just hoping you was going to wear one of them British wigs that come down here.
No.
I would love to see
that. No, I bet you would love to see it. No, that's too much. I'm just going to wear my own hair and I think I'm either going to perm it or lock it. and have it on my
Oh,
shoulders.
Just like all this month.
All this month.
For this, okay.
Yeah. It should be about right here by the end of this month.
Yeah. If you didn't cut it, I know it'd probably be that way anyway.
Oh yeah. And then when I carry the lamb over my shoulders, it's like my hair falls over the lamb, kind of mixes with the whiteness of the lamb.
And then portrait, you got to paint that.
And I'm gonna be standing there.
If you ever been in our
and I'm gonna kind of look humble like this.
When you ever come to our school, that's the picture you see. That's the big
the
20-foot
painting
picture
you see,
that you see when you come in there.
Yeah, usually when you come in there, we have a projector where we can do it to 70 feet, special occasions. With the lamb.
Please do not let that keep you from coming to class.
But I'm gonna get that lamb t-shirt though.
Oh yeah, we gotta
get that lamb. With the long hair and the lamb on my shoulders too. One with the lamb on the shoulders and one with me holding the lamb like a baby.
I like the baby lamb you hold like that. That's what
and then my hair falls over his chest right there. The hair got to fall. That's lambish.
It is. You do got to have some nice dreads or something.
And then I kind of look down with.
Yes, Eugene. All power to the people.
All power to the people. Yes.
You have curly dreads, like.
Yeah, that would be dope.
This is what we're gonna give you them curly like.
Or dread. If you saw the first episode of The Shy, the friend of the main character, his dreads were beautiful. The way they were done. I said, damn. So they were well done right there, like in a intricate pattern. And then all his dreads, they were braided into about 5 thick dreads. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, my home will be doing that.
It was beautiful.
I get jealous when I see that.
You see, that's what you're gonna have. That's what the lamb should have.
You true.
Like that.
I just see this picture now.
Yeah, see, that's what the lamb should have, and then I have on all white African lace. And I got the lamb right here. Yeah. Yeah, we should train. We should get a lamb and train, have it on the leash and while we train.
We definitely should.
I used to have a dog when I used to train in Stone Mountain at my house. Our dog, I'd have it on the leash while we train. I have somebody hold it. My wife would have her, and then we train, right? And then I go back while everybody working, having a dog. That shit was cold. And everybody bring like they puppies in and stuff. It was such an Ogun environment. And usually, dogs be wild and sometimes we training, they just be sitting watching.
That's what I was thinking.
It was incredible.
They know what is going down.
Right, they knew, so they just watch. And our dog, Eugene, she was a American bully, right? Huge. And so I'd walk out while everybody training, look out the garage and just hold her there. She just standing there with me looking. It was a great scene. You see people behind training. It was great. We just didn't have video cameras back then and shit. It was great, So I want to get back in that, but I ain't gonna bring no dog up in his house and like, yeah. You see him in the background like, what is all going doing? You got a dog and a lamb.
Yeah, so dog and lamb fighting in the
damn. Those moves make me feel physically empowered. Good. Those are natural moves that I can do. Exactly, and that's what the African martial arts is about. It takes your natural movement, and then it tweaks it a little bit.
Yeah. So
it becomes you move because you're gonna move that way anyway.
Exactly.
So you're faster. All of that. You ain't gotta think of the move, and it's not too intricate and all of that. Okay. So, but even as simple as it is, I can tell if I'm giving the students too much technique. That's why we limit everything to 3. I had written down 5, but I limited because I know when I'm teaching them, I'm excited. I'm showing them something. Then I see this look. They don't want to say, damn, it's too much, Baba. And I say, it's too much. Let's just work on so-and-so because I know I've given them too much. Because too much is detrimental, right? Usually too little when it comes to martial arts is not detrimental.
Right.
Because you can work that into many things, but too much is detrimental. I went to a famous instructor's workshop. Famous. If I said his name, everybody out here probably heard of him, right? He taught it was 2-day workshop. In one day, I really almost didn't go to the second day. And one day he taught 20 damn techniques. No, wait, everybody left there not knowing shit. Because we didn't get to work. No, we were there for 8 hours and left there knowing shit. 20 techniques. I'm like, God, at a workshop, I don't even test y'all on 20 techniques.
That's crazy.
I mean, not workshop, but test.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Which is 6 hours long usually. 20 techniques is a lot. I was like, he said, I know it's a lot, but you'll come out of here. What'd you say your father always say? With something. It's going to do something. Yeah, it did something. It confused me.
Exactly.
You know, so too much will cause paralysis. Right. It's a paralysis by analysis. Exactly.
Like they tell the 5% say, yo, they feed the babies too much. They
Throw up. Exactly. So just when you teach, if you show this to your family, first start with just the covers. And the covers moving, right? Once they got the covers moving, now you can tell them, point to them. These are elbows, actually. So now the idea of trying to touch with them comes. And then you can throw in the diagonal elbow. We call this a razor elbow. It's a modified razor, really. The traditional razor it goes diagonal and then slams down on top of their nose. So it's like that. But this is the modified razor because it's the part without the slam down. It's the diagonal. So our elbow, just so you know, I'll end on this, is up elbow, razor, back elbow, hacking elbow, rear elbow. So you hear it. And you work that on both sides. That's how you work your fluidity with your elbows, right? You work it that way. Up, razor, back, hack, rear. Yes. Up, razor, back, hack, rear. Up, razor, back, hack, rear. Then you start putting that to your face to make sure it's where it needs to be, right? Then you come up to your face when this one goes. And you work that, and you start working that moving. And you get real tight with those elbows.
You don't have that cover until somebody can smack you right there without you doing that at all.
Right.
You're taking it this way instead of the opposite way.
Right. You go this way.
Right. You coming taking that, absorbing that, letting it go pipe versus trying to hit it. So
those things you can work. Remember, up, razor, back, hack, rear. I do it slow. Up, razor, back, hack, rear. Work that. Start off working it 20 times each side. Then work 20 times getting faster. Then work that jive 50 times slow and 50 times faster and 100 times. We should do this like 200-300 times. And it's just flowing so quick. And you don't allow a person just to be like lazy like this. It ain't really doing nothing. No, really throw those. So that up razor, that up elbow, that's the cover. Treat yourself. Exactly. This elbow, that is the elbow. Every block though is a what? Strike. Every strike is a block. So as this cover is a strike and a block, so is this one. So is this one. So is this one. So is this one. Okay. You say, what? In fact, the cover, I did a video years ago on the elbow where the cover is also a kuko, where he's caught there, right? So it's many things. So that's a grab, right? But this, if he's throwing a punch at me, boom, boom, I throw that, that's that same elbow that went down there, boom, right? I can go, boom, come through, boom, come up into his rib cage with that lawnmower. Or just from here, boom, come down again on that, boom, then boom, come up with the lawnmower. So you can mix different ways of using the elbow. Okay, we'll do an elbow episode, not next week. We'll do it because I don't like you to be that ready.
We'll
We'll do an elbow episode. Maybe next week. I just got to figure out some pads to make sure I ain't slamming that shit into your arm too much. And God forbid you ain't slamming it into mine. So I got to make sure we got some
we ain't
pads.
doing no palm sandwiches to the face.
Well, you had the pads.
That's the worst. Pads, no, I don't care. That's the worst.
A mighty Thor followed by a razor. A mighty
You gotta
Thor.
find another name for that one.
Oh, the hammer. Okay. With an Ogun iron elbow. Well, Ogun is also the hammer and the anvil. So that's just all Ogun right there, my brother. So Ogun iron elbow followed by the Ogun rising hammer. You know.
Boy, I can't wait till I start my school. I'm gonna have some good
What
names.
you hit? Oh Lord. You hit nose, elbow, and nose. This would be my old man here. After he hit here, he put his hand right there. Elbow. Oh! So you get devastated by it. Then the hammer goes out, and then that right there, your throat. That's where that elbow comes. That was him. It was real close and brutal. Yeah, that too. You know, for me, I was young when I started, so I like to be all all smooth with it. Hit him, then walk off his eye, pimp off, walk off. That was me.
He was brutal.
I like to be that way. Yeah, the brutality. As I get older, I have more appreciation for that way.
Me too.
Because goddamn, you know, as I get older, doing that little bit I just did, I'm like, oh shit, I can do that 3 times. You know, so all right, y'all. Peace to y'all. Peace, David Silberg. Peace, Jay. Yes, striking soft targets. Exactly. Behind the ear, neck. You want to hit. You don't want to hit bone on bone. That doesn't make much sense. Even if you hit the arm, you hit the muscles, and there are nerves always in there. I'm not hitting bone to bone, even though this elbow would defeat that. That makes no sense though. So I come up here. So yeah, always hitting soft targets. And it's all Ogun, yes. Curious if there's a particular style that these techniques is being drawn from. Yes, absolutely. So they come from Lamba, which is a wrestling system. But you'll see this. He's punching, just throw punches like that. You'll see this. Stop right there. This is what you see here. Punch up, punch up. Oh. That's what you see them stopping. That, we translate that to the upward elbow comes into that. So that translates to that. That also comes from the tool. So if I'm using swords, it comes from that. That is an upward strike. It could be this way. It could be this way. And it comes back. That is a number 15, what we call 15. But it's also 15. It rises up. Okay. That comes directly from, well, really a combination of things. Mandinka, Kilimanjaro, and Lamba. Really. And it's knowing how to translate them into combative things. So any combative art, they know it's just minimal angles. And if I use whatever tool, I pick up this. Everything I can do with this translates into fist. So I'm here, right? That's the same as the hammer fist. Same. Okay. But I don't want to use this soft part if I can help it. Because really, if I hit with this, she said, well, the soft part's there, but I'm not using the soft part. I'm using the hard part, the bone. I'm still attacking the same places to the soft parts of the body. And so that's how we knew to attack the soft parts of the body with our bones. Okay. If it's a sharp tool, well, if it's a blunt object, like a large blunt object, not that, but a staff. Staff, knife. I attack soft parts of the body with a knife. You got me? Because soft parts is always nerves, it's always arteries. With this staff, It's not like that little flashlight. In the flashlight, I can get away with hitting like your collarbone anyway, too. You can really do both. But with something like this, I hit to the hard parts of your body because I want to break them, devastate them, right? So fingers to the arm, kneecap, shin, shoulder blade, jaw, nose, the hammer. So because it's a blunt object, I can hit the nose. Yeah, I can hit the jaw, usually not. If I hit the nose, I hit the throat. That's a soft, so I can do either. Because it's like similar to that flashlight. It's shorter. The smaller blunt objects can do either. These objects, you're not hitting soft. I wouldn't hit her in her gut with this. That just annoy her, unless it's a liver. Liver, hit that with anything. It's beautiful. But usually bone with larger tool. That's the secret, the ancient secret they don't want you to know about. There you go. Take out a collarbone, they lose an arm to swing. Much more than that. Yes. You hit the collarbone, you snap the collarbone. If they get away, they don't know they're having a heart attack or what. It is terrible. Yes. I broke mine too. And trying to shoot, I had to hold my arm up with the other arm. That's terrible shooting like that. Yeah. Teacupping.
He's trying to make me put my hands together like this to put cuffs on me when I had broke my collarbone. I said, y'all got to kill me. I ain't got that kind of pain. You got to kill me. And it did not put the cuffs on. I was like, you ain't put the cuffs on. I couldn't put my hands together. I couldn't do that. No, sir.
Yeah, so, yeah. Collarbone.
I was wrongly accused, by the way. That was something.
Yeah, of course you are. Collarbone, shoulder, all that's connected, and that is devastating. Yes. All that is because the larger the joint, that's a bone that's connected to the joint, right? The collarbone's connected to the shoulder joint. The larger the joint, if it's dislocated, the more devastating it is. That's why people die from hip dislocation. Some, many, especially if they're older.
That's what I was going to say.
Devastating, man. Yeah, so be careful. Stay chiseled out here. Be careful. Love y'all. Stay black. Whatever it is that you may be. Black August Resistance. Long live the dragon.